So today's lesson, it's just 4 problems that you have to do. I'm going to show you how to do the first one, right? I'm going to show you how to fill out the math work, the explanation. Um, so the first thing that you do is you take your problem. I would write it on a piece of paper and solve it. So let me just, sorry, I was practicing before. Let me just check. All right. So x squared plus 5x minus 6. What you're going to do is you're going to remember that what we want is we want it equal to 0, right? So what we have to manipulate this equation so that it equals 0. It's pretty simple. All you have to do is move everything to one side, either everything on the right side to the left or everything on the left side to the right. How you're going to decide is you're going to look for where the x squared is, and that's your anchor. That means anything on this side is going to be moved over here. How do you move it? You use the inverse property. So minus 6, the inverse of minus 6 is plus 6. You plus 6 on both sides. Minus 6 plus 6 cancel out, and you're left with 0. So you get x squared plus 5x plus 6 equals 0. What's going to happen now is we're going to factor this. So 6 goes up top, 5 goes on the bottom. You're going to, what are the factors of 6 that add up to 5? 2 and 3. So you're going to write x plus 2 times x plus 3 equals 0. Now what you're going to do is you're going to use the zero property rule of multiplication, which means anything times 0 is 0. It doesn't matter what. So what we're going to do is we're going to say x plus 2 equals 0 and x plus 3 equals 0. And we're going to minus 2 on both sides. And we're going to get x is equal to negative 2. And we're going to minus 3 on both sides. And x is equal to negative 3. Right? So I did that all on paper, right? So I go back to my sheet. And for my math work, I just write, right, inverse of negative 6 is 6. Factor x squared plus 5x plus 6 and get x plus 2, x plus 3, right? Solve for each factor. And then say x equals negative 2, x equals negative 3. Right? All you have to do, 4 lines, not a big deal. Explanation. Well, you're going to say, well, isn't this an explanation, Mr. Pilcher? Sort of. So remember, we used the inverse property to change the equation. So it was so the entire quadratic equation, expression equaled 0, right? And then we factored and used the zero property of multiplication to find the solution. So kind of just saying the properties that you used worked. To be honest, anything that you say is good. Even if you decided to copy and paste, right, your math work here and write something down here, I just need to see some kind of interaction with the math. I need to see some kind of understanding of the thought process. All right. So it's only 4 problems. I did the first one. It's your responsibility to do the last 3, and we're using the same method. Feel free to reach out. This is how we're ending the unit because you need this skill for Algebra 2.